Sir Courtney Campbell, welcome again to London.
Thank you very much.
And
Great to be here.
and now you're in Catford, in Lewisham, at the Civic Centre. And let you know, tell you something, this is where I got my citizenship in this
Excellent.
particular room.
Congrats.
Some years ago.
Yes.
Now, tell us about this financial forum and why did you come to Catford? You're always Brixton town hall a few times. Why Lewisham, Catford that you guys ventured this time?
Well, this is a response to popular demand from the people of Lewisham and the surrounding areas
Yes.
that said that they would like to hear from VM. Many
Yes.
of them are already members
Yes.
and clients of the VM group,
Yes.
and they've been living here for years.
Yeah.
Their children are interested in saving and investing with us,
Yes.
and they thought that we should bring our message to Lewisham.
Right.
And so, we invited them, and we're so delighted that we had a full house here
Yes.
this evening.
No, most definitely, and and like what I've done is like promoting it, and also we'll be sharing this also with other person. But in a nutshell, a few things you said today, and I really picked it up. I was writing it down, and you said something about the taxpayers need to sort of be highlighted and to be respected a bit more, as they are the ones that somehow have been building Jamaica. Because sometimes we keep hearing, and I'm not going to get political now, but we're this is built by JLP, this is built by PNP. And I've said it myself. I'm never hearing the taxpayers did this, the taxpayers did this. But you said something and I said, wow, I've never heard that before. You said something powerful. Just relate what you said about the taxpayers.
Yes, because I think, as everyone knows,
Yes.
we have had a huge problem with our debt to GDP
Yes.
ratio being high. Why is that important? Because the higher our debt is, when it was at 147%
Yes.
of GDP, as it was at the beginning of 2012, going into 2013,
Yes.
then the servicing of the debt
Yes.
took up the majority of the budget.
Yes.
That was the taxes that were collected each year. In fact, in those days, over 50, sometimes 60% of the recurrent revenue
Yes.
was being used to service debt,
Yes.
interest payments and principal payments and so on. And so very little was left for building of hospitals, for payment of public sector workers, for equipping the police force, all of those things. But the people of Jamaica,
Yes. This is a key bit. Yeah.
sacrificed.
The sacrifice of the people.
Sacrifice. And two things were, I think, highlighted that sacrifice. Several debt exchanges
Yes.
in which the people and the investors of Jamaica exchanged
Yeah.
high coupon
Yes.
government debt and accepted in return for that lower coupon with
Yes.
longer repayment periods, so that gave the government greater space.
Yes.
That's one, and played a role in lowering the interest rate trajectory in the country. And so, the first debt exchange was done, I think, in 2010.
Yeah.
And then the government of 2012 to 2016, the two others as well. And that is what actually secured that IMF program that, was implemented from 2013 through to 2016. So that's first thing. The second thing, though, is that very, very importantly, the government was able to reduce the debt by generating larger fiscal surpluses. In other words, that they were able to collect more
Yes.
in taxes than they spent,
Yes. Yes.
for all the things that government is responsible for. How were they able to do that? Because the people paid higher taxes through special consumption tax on fuel and electricity and so on. And all of those pains were borne by the people of Jamaica. Now, the good news is that we have had policy consistency between the two administrations.
That's a good
the
point.
Administration from 2012 to 2016, and the administration since 2016 to now, they have been consistent in being focused on being fiscally responsible. And that has now been supported by legislation to establish a fiscal council. And we have fiscal policy rules now. So that going forward, governments in Jamaica have no freedom.
And it's interesting you say this, because there's a classic question that someone said, how can we guarantee that the trajectory of the progress in the economy of Jamaica will continue if there is a change of government? And that is what you're talking about with the fiscal rules, isn't it?
Precisely.
As someone picked up. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So the situation is now very different.
Yes.
The policy framework is now much tighter. We have a
Yes.
fiscal commissioner, and we have fiscal policy rules that actually place a restriction on how governments can spend. How freely they can spend.
So it's a bit like vision,
and how much they can just run up deficits without any control.
So it's a bit like Vision 2030, somewhat, whereby there's a corporate understanding and working together. And really and truly, I won't get into that, but it would be good if that could be translated into many other areas in Jamaica. But that's the most important.
Yeah, and you know what? That's what I love about Jamaica.
Yes.
Anytime we get together and agree on anything, right?
Like, unstoppable.
We're unstoppable. We're unstoppable. So we agreed many years ago that we're going to reform how we run elections.
Yes.
And we established the Electoral Commission. And look at Jamaica now. We are modeling how elections are run for the rest of the world.
Yeah.
And similarly, we have now had a consensus on how we ought to operate our fiscal operations.
Can I just plug something a while ago before I go into the last one? When you mentioned about this app, I didn't know about the app.
Yes.
So you know what I did?
Yes.
I went on my phone and I text someone in Ocherius, Shami McConnell, please tell me my bank accounts are there. and because Victoria Mutual is so great and so fantastic, I got the response within 10 minutes. She told me the balance, the account, and I said, thank God. I just want to know that they're there because and I downloaded the two apps.
Right.
I downloaded the two apps.
Excellent. Please.
I downloaded the two apps. So finally now, how do you take into consideration when, like somebody said earlier, I won't mention the complaint, but they mentioned complaints about Victoria Mutual and blah, blah, blah. How do you take that and translate it down into an action?
Yeah. So for example, someone complained, as you said, about funds transfer.
Yeah.
And so we receive those complaints as gifts.
Yes.
Because
as gifts, I like that.
Gifts,
yes,
to help us as free consultancy.
Yes,
to help us to improve our operations. So what we do, we've heard that person.
Yes,
many others were given great commendations about other things.
Yes,
but there's this one complaint. We accept it as that person's experience.
Yes,
we're going to understand the root cause of it. We're going to do investigations to understand the root cause of it, and to ensure that we fix that root cause.
Yes.
And then that will ensure that our operations get better.
And
so each time we hear something like that, it's an opportunity to improve our operation.
That means to say you're going to keep coming to the UK then to get more gems as to improve your bottom end. Or
we'll always be coming here and we'll be in contact with our members wherever they are in the world. At the four corners of Jamaica, in the US, in Canada, in the UK, and elsewhere, because we want to continue to listen to our customers, our members and clients, so that we can serve them better.
Well, they want to get us out of Lewisham Town Hall Civics. But Courtney, it was a pleasure and it's an honor. And ladies and gentlemen, Victoria Mutual is a place to go. Lots of things are going on. Big things are going on yard. Am I right?
Yes. And Jamaica is a place to be.
Jamaica is a place
Jamaica
to be.
is open for business. We're doing great things in Jamaica. And the VM group, we stand ready to partner with you to advance your financial well-being.
Fantastic. And we have a great partnership, ladies and gentlemen.
Great.
Peace out. Thank you.
Goodbye. With a view to ensuring that you understand how the solutions that we have to offer are relevant to helping you and your families advance towards
essentially staying disciplined, focusing on revenue growth.
So you actually saw our group structure, you saw all the various companies within the group, what it's doing. So I know we have
that provide exposure to private equity investments as well as other